Sounds, yeah, like a lot of like these unexpected opportunities come up when you actually start to do something, like implement the projects. So, speaking of projects, I want to sort of go on a tangent to illustrate a point, not a point, just like a sort of another aspect to development in the region. So, I was once listening to a college admission officer who said like she was reading all these application with students going to Haiti to build hospitals, and then it got to the point that she said she thought like there was a hospital every blocks in Haiti or something. And then so my point here is that a lot of time there are foreign aid projects in especially in places such as Africa that sometimes doesn't take into consideration the culture, historical backgrounds in the area, and that fail because of it. So, how does the project of REDES Ecovillages and the benefit it proposes differ from the foreign types of aid that might not take into consideration these specific regional factors?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. You go to a place and then you build, a high-speed train, ignoring the local realities and the local needs. This is bound to fail. This is what is really happening at the moment here. We have a leadership, a local leadership, high-level leadership that is not very much aware of the needs of the local communities. For example, in my country here, recently, our national government bought a high-speed train for such a big amount of money. You just hear this, you will just go get sick because it's so much money. When you could, with this money, you could, build schools, you can bring water to so many places, etc. I think, this sense of priorities is not really operating at this level very often. And a few years back, also in my village, was a there was a volunteer who came from the US, to start a fish farming project. I think she just wanted to prove herself that, to herself that, this project could thrive in this area. She came, she implemented alone. There were big fish, everything was successful, and then she left. And the villagers were not connected, were not even informed of what she was doing. I think very often also what happening here in Africa are very often NGOs, money, or NGOs have their own agenda that are not really in conformity with also the needs of the local people. And this needs to change because also what happens is when the West gives some sort of subsidies, I just would like to put this into brackets, to Africa, they export all their, leaders and officers here, which is also, and they stay in hotels in very expensive districts. They have big cars. This is also a way to repatriate also part of these funds back home. And this does not make sense at all. And also when the European Union, instead of supporting local community initiatives, gives big money to the army, to the police, to stop people, illegal immigration. What people need are bridges. What people need are support. What people need are, compassion. So that, and also people, when I see this big wall that the U.S. had been trying to build between itself and Mexico, this is very sad. Reminds me of the past, mistakes in history. So what we need actually are people can support one another, can talk, and just try to live more happily.